It is Doc, and I'm going to teach you a trick called the cheese whip. One of the very first slack tricks that I ever created. Looks like this. Boom, that's it. So the cheese whip is a great beginner slack trick. It's actually kind of windy out, and the trick's still probably going to work pretty well because it's pretty easy to hit. What it always starts off with is a trapeze, and you're going to pinch with your free hand. My free hand is my left hand, my throw hand is my right hand. So I'm going to pinch with my left hand. My thumb is going on top of my pointer finger, but the proper pinch, if you can learn it, is actually this one. Middle finger on top of the pointer finger is going to add a lot more flexibility for other tricks down the line. So if you can learn middle finger on top, that's going to be better. But either way, the easiest for a lot of people is just pointer finger out and thumb on top. So let's do that one. So I'm going to pinch from a trapeze. Now I have the slack, and I'm going to take my throw hand and I'm going to throw it so that the slack goes under my free hand. So I'm going to pinch with my free hand, my left hand, thumb goes on top, so my palm is kind of up and looking like that. And then my right hand, my throw hand, is going to take this slack and I'm going to throw it. And like I said, even though it's kind of windy out, this is still pretty easy to do. Obviously, string neutrality, you want your string to be kind of even, but the ultimate goal is that you are going to throw under your free hand. So my right hand is going to go this way. The string's going to wrap over my arm. The thing you see some people try to do is this, going out, which we don't want to do. We want to go behind the hand. So you've got this big hoop here. The next thing is your throw hand is going to go into that hoop, and that's going to set you up for this trick. So trapeze, pinch, hoop, hand goes in. Now, if you do this more stylish, you'll actually get your hand in there right from the start. And that's just kind of a combination of timing, and really it's kind of hard to miss because my throw hand is going to go right here. So when I throw that hoop, it's really going to be already in there. It's not like I have to like accurately hit it or anything. So pinch, hoop, hand goes in. Pinch, hoop, hand is in. Now, the next thing you're going to do is just put your throw hand forward so that this string overlaps this string, and this is going to create our bucket. So when we flip right here, you can see that if I let go, we're in that bucket, that wrist mount bucket. Down. And when I flip this over, I want to flip it so it lands here on this side of the string. So I go through and I'm going to aim for here, right there. Then you just take your hand out and it's on your throw hand. And this is the wrist mount. This is the cheese whip. You can do anything you normally do from a wrist mount. You can let the yo-yo come out on this side like this, and you won't have a knot. But the way I like to get out of that cheese whip is by taking my free hand, pinching on the outside. So I'm going to kind of do a claw, and go up and open the string. So I'm basically opening that bucket. And what I like to do is hop up, and while it's in the air, I like to let the strings fall off of these fingers. Sorry, off of my thumb. And what's going to happen is it's going to fall. So I like to do boop, boop, boop. And I'm in a trapeze.
Where's the cheese whip? I don't know. Where's the cheese whip? I don't know. Where's the cheese whip? I don't know. Where's the cheese whip? I don't know.
So here's a little bonus section for you. Whenever I do the cheese whip, you might see that I tend to follow it up with this combo, kind of a gondola combo. Because I do gondola all the time, right? So yes, the way I end cheese whip is by doing this move, and I'm going to teach it to you. So the cheese whip combo starts with cheese whip. Here I'm not going to take this finger out. So you see how it's kind of in that hoop? But I am going to let this string come off. So that's kind of where I want it to be. And I'll show you that again. Boop. I'm going to leave it on like that. Now, if your finger does fall out, it's not a big deal. What we want to do is get it back into here, and that's kind of hard to do, right? Well, not really, but let's pretend it is. So if your finger does come out, no big deal. You can just put your finger in here and cut under the yo-yo. That'll get us back into that same position that we want to be. So once your finger is in here, you can pinch this string. What I'm doing is I'm hooking with my free hand, my left hand, hooking the string, and I'm pulling it behind this string. So I'm hooking, going behind, and then I go under. So once you go behind, you just take the free hand and you just go under the yo-yo, kind of like an undercut, but where you're holding this string when you're doing that undercut, and you're going to end up in something that looks like a Mach 5. Once you have that Mach 5 position, the next thing you want to do is get this string right here to come off the yo-yo, but you're going to keep these strings on, especially these two. So what I do is I pinch with my free hand, and then I just close my right hand and I just bring it around, and you can see that string just comes right off. So now I've got a trapeze and I've got this hoop. Pinch. I like to pinch with my middle finger and my pointer finger, but you can pinch here, and you're just gonna bring that through. So you've got this hoop now. And the cool thing about this position is you just kind of, as soon as that string comes off, you put it onto your pointer finger. So this is where we should be now. Final thing, I've got my thumb, pointer finger here. I'm going to pull this string in like that, and then slide to my right towards my throw hand, let it fall off my thumb, and slide back to my left. From this point, you can just drop. Finger stays in if possible. I hook, I go under, I bring my throw hand around, and now the loop is off, but I'm just gonna pull up. I'm going to hook my freehand pointer finger, hook it in, and then move it forward again. And what happened is this string fell off. Now I slide to my throw hand, let it fall off the thumb, slide to my free hand, put my thumb here and just drop. And that is the cheese whip combo. So like I said at the beginning of the video, one tip is when you're doing that trapeze pinch, try to learn how to use these two fingers, the middle finger and the pointer finger, to do that pinch. The reason is that is going to open up so much more possibility for other slack tricks. There's so many fun slack tricks you can do where you really need to have that middle finger instead of your thumb. So for the cheese whip, you can do a thumb pinch or you can do this pinch. And I recommend learning this one if you can, which is just kind of like a cross. My middle finger just goes on top of my pointer finger, and that's where that pinch comes from. Then I do my cheese whip. Keep my pointer finger in. Hook. Dismount. Gondola. Gondola. Ah, yeah, baby. So the yo-yo I'm using is a bolt. I can't remember who the string is. Big thanks to my Patreon sponsors for buying this GoPro. I hope this first-person perspective helps you learn the trick. If so, share it on Instagram. Let's see your cheese whips.